afternoon. Happy Sunday. Hopefully, everybody has had a great weekend. First and foremost, I want to just send out my appreciation to all of you who helped make Night TV, Nightlife, Night Squared, Night Everything, the entire Night world so successful. As many of you may have seen my post on social media, we are officially monetized on YouTube. So I'm super excited. Thank you very much for your support. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this new series. Before we do that, though, I just want to let everyone know I am monitoring chat. So, yes, this is live, obviously. So feel free to post your questions and comments in the chat. I want to talk about Shadow Academy and what it is and what it isn't. So, one of the things that I appreciate about some YouTubers and excuse me, and some of the other influencers out there is when they walk through a setup from cradle to grave, from beginning to end, and haven't pre-installed anything, and just sort of navigate through some of the challenges and some of the issues that they run into. Obviously, really no live streamer loves doing something like that because things can go wrong. And so, but that's life, right? Isn't that life? Isn't that us in cybersecurity? Oh, I know, Dana. Thank you. Check out the new do, everyone. Is it totally me? I feel like it's totally me. I love it. Yeah, I need to do like more trips to the salon because, as many of you know, I'm gonna digress for a minute here. Sorry. As many of you know, I had like this long hair with the ponytail. My ponytail was always purple, but I did this black fade to purple, and so it's gonna take a while for my hair to be able to get really, just as light as my ponytail was. So I have to go back to the salon over and over and get and continue to get bleached until it's like bright purple. So that's my plan. So it's I mean, it's kind of there, but it definitely needs more work. But thanks for noticing, Dana. Good evening, friends. Nana, thank you for joining us. Irina, thank you for joining us. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, you helped make it awesome. So for those of you who are noticing a lighting difference, yeah, how do I describe it? I guess the shade that's in my studio right now. I know you can't see it, but the shade is actually broken. Well, it's dead. All right. So these are automated shades and they go down and up. And it's tied to Alexa. And I came up here and realized that the battery's dead. And the charging cable for the shade ripped out. So my shade is permanently up now, which does horrible it's flat lighting. I absolutely hate it. But so hopefully you guys and girls don't mind today. Anyway, so back to Shadow Academy. So first and foremost, this is a brand new franchise that we're launching. So it's going to be Night TV presents Shadow Academy. It's going to be live stream. And what I was saying earlier was basically, I love it when YouTubers go from beginning to end on something. And while no live streamer loves doing something like that because you can run into issues, I really believe that that's what cybersecurity is. You run into issues. No penetration test is perfect. Not every exploit, not every module runs, not everything installs. So you're going to be able to shadow me. That's why we're calling this Shadow Academy. You are shadowing me as I install and use these tools. And so we're going to run into issues. I'm going to give you a warning right now that there may be some episodes where I run into something not compiling and we're spending the entire show troubleshooting it. But isn't that life? Isn't that like everyone knows that there's no such thing as anything that goes perfectly smoothly. They call them when people are doing a presentation at conferences and they're doing a demo and the demo doesn't work, they blame it on the demo gods, right? And so, but I want this to be real. I want this to be like, okay, we've run into an issue. How do we troubleshoot it? How we move through it? So that's what this is. That's what Shadow Academy is. So I'm super excited to have all of you here with me. We are live streaming across different social media platforms. We are on YouTube. We are streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on Twitch TV and Twitter. Now, if you support me, if you want this to be a successful channel, I would really appreciate it if you actually watched from YouTube, because that's where obviously you're going to be able to give me the most support is if you stream there. And I think the quality of the streaming is better on YouTube. But anyway, but still, it's up to you. Stream from whatever is comfortable. But if you really don't care, I'd appreciate if you watch from YouTube. Okay. So what else? Okay, so now, okay, let's talk about operating systems for a minute because as many of you know, I'm a Mac user. All right, it's no secret. All of my stuff, I've got the Macs. Anytime I'm definitely the drunk on the Kool-Aid with Cult of the Mac. I'm definitely a proud card-holding member of the Mac cult. Anytime something new comes out from Apple, I buy it. I don't care what the hell it is. I mean, I've got new shit sitting in boxes that are wrapped up that I still haven't opened yet, just because it's Apple. So this today is a brand new Mac Studio. Now, what I'm going to do, oops, let's like not do that, is show you. Oh, let's not do that either. Hold on, let me just close all my crap. Yeah, that's my photo. So what I'm going to show you is basically how I'm going to basically walk through the specs of this for you so you can see it. Okay, so we are going to try the screen sharing feature in Restream. I'm hoping that the stream quality, I am paying for the premium account with Restream, so I am able to stream at 1080p. So hopefully you guys and girls will be able to see the terminal window and the fonts. But I do want to show you this to give you a little bit of an idea of what kind of system I'm on right now. So this is the new Mac Studio, which just came out. It just arrived. It is a brand new system. There's nothing really installed on this right now except Adobe apps with Creative Cloud and my DaVinci Resolve editing software. It's running macOS Monterey 12.4. This is a fully loaded Mac Studio, so I think it came around to $10,000 when all was said and done. It's got 128 gigs of RAM. It's got a 32-core CPU and a 64-core GPU. So it is fully maxed out. So we really shouldn't have any performance issues at all, considering it's the fastest computer in this house. Now, as many of you know, as I mentioned, I am a Mac user. Now, what does that mean? That means that everything that I'm going to be installing and running for hacking APIs is going to be on a Mac. Now, as many of you know, macOS moved away from their proprietary system. I don't know, how long ago was it? Like a decade ago, over 10 years ago, I think, where they moved to a BSD-based kernel, and Linux apps actually will compile on macOS. That means that a lot of the commands that I'm running in Mac will work on Linux. It's really the same process, but I definitely recommend you go look at the Linux tool installation how-tos that are out there. And if it makes sense for you, follow those instructions. Or many of you may be on a Mac. I really don't know. I mean, everyone's probably on different systems. Now, one thing I do want to say is, let me go back to my browser window. Sorry, everyone. Let me find my browser. Where's my browser? Okay, there it is. So one of the things I will do though is I am a huge Ubuntu user. Now what that means is that while there will be some Shadow Academy episodes that will be on my Mac Studio, I will actually bring in my Ubuntu laptop. So I'm running Ubuntu on an HP Spectre. And what I'll do is maybe in the next episode, all the things that we're going to be doing today, I will be installing on Ubuntu. So for those of you who are on Linux and using Linux, you can follow along as I'm doing the Ubuntu episode. I will not be using any other Linux distro, so please don't ask me to do it on Slack or Red Hat or whatever, CentOS, whatever. I am only an Ubuntu user, and I feel like it's sacrilege if I install any other Linux distro. Okay, Franz, thanks for coming. James Driscoll, really good to see you, James. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it looks like we've got a bot in here, Naked HD. I don't know. How do you like ban someone? Oh, block user, add to block list and restream. All right. That's weird. I have never seen a bot join my live streams before, so that was really weird. Okay. Um, let's see. What sector of cybersecurity do you think you will have a boom in 2023? Love your content. Thank you so much, T. I think right now I'm going to continue this whole API hacking thing. I really have been branded as this API hacker, and it seems to be the content that a lot of you are demanding the most. So if you look at my YouTube comments, and by the way, for those of you who are watching right now, about 50% of my YouTube viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for new uploads. I stream and upload every week, so it's where I post my vulnerability research first. So if you aren't subscribed, you may not know you're not subscribed, but go ahead and subscribe if you can. But yeah, so T, I think API hacking is what I'm going to continue doing. And you guys and girls who met me for the first time on David Bomble's chat, David Bomble's show, I said this then, and I'll continue to say it. If you are a penetration tester, if you are a hacker, APIs is now. If you don't know how to hack APIs, you're going to be limiting your career. You're going to be limiting yourself as a hacker if you don't know how to. That is where the data is. That is where hackers and adversaries are shifting their attention. So you need to know how to hack and secure APIs if you don't. So I think T, that's probably where I'm going to continue driving my content, is on the API hacking side. Okay, so thank you, Seth. Yeah, that was the first time. Yeah, and that was actually a bot on YouTube. So I was actually very surprised to see that. All right, well, everyone, are you ready? Let's go ahead and get started. So today's show is going to be on. So I just want to make sure everyone can see my text. So okay. I'm going to quickly shift back and forth between my browser and check chat just to make sure everyone can see. If everyone can just put in chat that you can see my screen, you can see the text, it's legible. I've made the text big enough. Please let me know. Also make sure, obviously, if you can zoom in on your side. Cody, hey, Alyssa, love your content, but would you mind upping your, everything seems to be a bit blurry. Okay, I'm currently not on my PTZ camera right now. I don't know if that if is your side or my side, I don't know, but I am streaming at 1080p. Urson, Blazing Buzz, looks like they all can see me just fine. All right, so yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It looks like it might be your side if you want to check that. It might also be downgrading your stream. Also check to see where you're streaming from. Some platforms will only stream at 720p. I am paying for a premium account at Restream, so I'm streaming at 1080p right now. So you might want to check where you're grabbing the stream from. If you're on YouTube, check your gear icon. Make sure you're at the highest resolution possible on that as well. But it looks like other people can see it okay. All right, so let's move on with the show. So I usually like to put everything in the tools directory. That's where we're going to be installing for a majority of these shows. Is I'll be placing them into the tools directory. So one of the first things that we're going to be doing in building our hacking lab is, if you are going to be hacking APIs, if you're going to be hacking mobile apps, you need Mobile Security Framework, or otherwise known as MobSF. MobSF is a free GitHub project that many of you can go check out. Let me give you all the URL. It's github.com/mobsf. And what MobSF does is it allows you to do both static and dynamic code analysis of mobile apps. So it's literally this, and we'll be looking at it today. It's literally this sexy graphical user interface where you can literally drag and drop mobile apps. Sorry, I'll mute my phone. Where you can literally drag and drop mobile apps into MobSF, and it will reverse it back to the source code, allowing you to find hard-coded keys and tokens. Now, I will actually, in the Shadow Academy episode, I will be drag and dropping a real mobile app to it. So I'll be grabbing an APK file and dragging and dropping into it so we can actually use real data. Now, you will be able to see which app it is. I'm not going to be able to blur that in real time. So I'm obviously, disclaimer, I'm not endorsing any illegal activity or any of you taking that any further than what we do on this show. So always, of course, have express written approval from anyone before you perform a penetration test or throw packets at something. Now, when you are dragging and dropping the APK file into MobSF and analyzing it, you are not doing anything illegal. You're doing it on your local machine. No packets are going to be going to that API endpoint. So you don't have to worry about anything as far as that's concerned. And I believe recently they just announced the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1987 or whatever it is. They just updated it and said that, so before, in the original version of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAB, CFAC, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA. The original version basically criminalized all digital trespassing without approval, and now they've updated it to say that if you are a white hat and you disclose the vulnerabilities to the other party, that you technically would not fall under being criminalized under the CFAA. So something to think about. Again, it's still shady area, and just because they just updated it doesn't mean that I would go on a hacking spree hacking people. Just be careful with that. Anyway, okay, so this is MobSF. Now with anything, you're gonna want to do. Oops, that's not it. That's not the. Let's see. So you're going to want to git clone the project. Let me see. So if you scroll down, let's go to the documentation. Installation. It's simply just git clone and then the full URL. I'm super lazy, so I like to copy and paste a lot of stuff. And also it prevents fat fingering. So this is the first thing that you're going to want to know is when you are installing or running something like Git, macOS will automatically detect that you need to install it if it's not already there. And it's part of what's called the developer tools package. And so in addition to doing this, and you know what, while we're doing this, I'm going to just take notes for a new blog article. So I'm going to just copy all my commands as we're running them. And then, so here would be go clone. So again, this is as real as it gets. For those of you who just joined us, this is Shadow Academy and nothing is planned. It could all blow up in our face and we're just going to work through any problems we run into. This is a brand new, unwrapped, out of the box, relatively brand new, Mac Studio. So I'm installing all of our hacker tools and building a hacking lab for APIs from the ground up. All right, so then we need to install developer tools. So that's what I love about macOS. It just kind of takes care of everything. All right, so let's keep that open. About 202 hours with 7 minutes remaining. What? Okay, so that clearly is not calculated correctly. By the way, for those of you who want to know how fast our internet connection is here, it's obscene. We are actually running casino fiber into our home. So as you know, my wife and I live in Las Vegas. We have basically a primary internet fiber line and then a secondary. So if the primary fails, it auto falls over back to the backup. So as many of you know, look at that upload speed, it's insane. But as many of you know, and this is actually while I'm streaming, so I know that that's not 100% accurate because I'm streaming right now. Yeah, so as many of you know, I am also a day trader. My wife, Mel, is also a day trader and cryptocurrency trader. So I was actually in the middle of a trade once, and I want to say it was like $20,000, $30,000 that I had in a trade, and so the internet went down. The entire electricity in the house and the internet went down, and I nearly had a heart attack. And so I was like, never again. So we like the Cox actually trenched fiber into the neighborhood. It's a brand new neighborhood, and we're the first ones to get dedicated fiber to our home. So I'm super excited about it. Anyway, that's the internet speed. So this is still installing. The other thing that we're going to run into in Shadow Academy is things just really large packages taking a while to install. So I'll flip back to chat and see how all of you are doing. All right. Oscar, good faith hackers are kind of protected, laughing out loud. Yeah. I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't like play with it. Again, there's some gray area there, and I obviously don't work in law enforcement. But yeah, that is really cool that times are updating. The Justice Department is updating itself, and thinking about things like that. That when it was written, this idea of white hats and black hats didn't really exist, right? So they were like, let's criminalize all hacking. All hackers are bad. And so, the fact that they're updating it, I think is awesome. So, yay. See. Dana, fine here. Thank you. The terminal was good, but the home screen is iffy. Yeah. What home screen? What home screen are you talking about? Yeah. So if I'm sharing my screen and I go back to my browser window, it's going to create that weird screen capture. Anyway, that's that mirror effect you just saw. Never mind. Terminal seems great now. Awesome. Thanks, Cody. I'm going to use a new Blazing Buzz says I'm going to use a new VPS Ubuntu and follow up with you. Yeah, cool. I mean, here's the thing. I'm installing things on Mac OS. It's based on BSA. It's Linux. I mean, you can compile Linux tools on Mac OS. I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much everything carried over to Ubuntu. So if any of you are in Ubuntu right now, or any Linux distro right now, I think that pretty much all the commands are going to be the same. I mean, except having to install things like Xcode, right? Like you're not going to need to install Xcode in Linux. So it looks like, yeah, it's kind of jumping all over the place. I'm blaming Apple servers on this one because, yeah. But then again, Xcode is developer tools is actually a pretty large package. We also are going to want to go into the App Store and install what's called Xcode. So for those of you who are Mac users that are watching right now, sorry, I haven't had enough coffee today. So if I'm a little, ummy, and yeah, that's why. Okay, so developer tools and Xcode, those are two really big ones. Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't affect my download too much while that's installing. I didn't actually anticipate that we would run into this. I didn't think about it, but it is what it is. I guess, if this was a video I was recording and then uploaded later, obviously I would cut out the download time and just jump right to it being installed. But it is what it is. But that's the fun of Shadow Academy. You're shadowing me. You're just here in my studio in our house with me while we're doing this. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on our installation notes. So install developer tools, install Xcode. Now, one of the things that I did want to, and check this out, I thought this was super cool. So installing MobSF on Mac OS. Who is the first link in Google? Who is that? That's me. That's me. I'm the first link in Google. I freaking love it. Yeah, so this was a mini how-to that I wrote for installing MobSF on macOS. Now, this is actually an update to it because what I had found was first of all, for any of you who are Mac users, you know that Apple's notorious for doing this, and I absolutely hate it about Apple. I love Apple, but I hate Apple at the same time. They'll come out with a new release of Mac OS, and just a whole bunch of stuff will break, right? It's just so locked down as an operating system. So, like, as a hacker, I love that. But when trying to get stuff that previously worked on Mac OS and now the new version breaks it, it pisses me off. But anyway, when they moved to the new Mac OS Big Sur, installing Mac Mob SF actually broke. So what happened was in the new version of Mac OS, they switched to Python 3.9, and it actually breaks Mob SF because it only supports Python 3.7 and 3.8. So I updated it. And for those of you who've never seen it, I also syndicate and post my blog articles to my main homepage at alyssaknight.com. So if you are looking for blog articles, like let's say maybe a site that syndicates my blog posts, to, the links are dead or you can't find an article, it's most likely on my homepage. So if you and you can actually, there's actually a member community. You can actually sign up for an account on my website. So here you go to login and you can sign up as a member on alyssaknight.com. I am actually in the process of redesigning it. But just something to think about is that if you are looking for a blog article, it's most likely, oh wow, is my blog, oh my God, I got it. Okay, so when I create the new menu, it looks like I forgot to add the blog link. Sorry about that. But anyway, until then, you can Google it. But this is a new article I wrote. So basically, I walk you through how to install Python 3.8 and unlink Python 3.9. And then once you do that, you should be able to actually run MobSF. So if you run into this error message where you get, basically it's yelling at you and telling you that it can't install or can't run, that's why. Is check a version of Python. That's like, hashtag, that's, oh, you know what? I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm so sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, okay, now that I'm sharing my screen, let's rewind. So installing MobSF Mac OS, that first link at Google is mine. That's me. I'm super excited about it. We just we jumped in the DeLorean, went back in time and redid that again. So this is the blog article, but basically, this is the whole Python thing. If you get that error message, this is what's wrong. You need to unlink using Brew, and we'll talk about Brew in a minute. Basically, I'll talk about it now. Brew is the package manager for Mac. It's a package manager for Mac OS. So how on Red Hat you have Red Carpet. I don't know, do they use Red Carpet still? But on Ubuntu it's apt. You can or Debian-based distros it's apt. It's basically like apt. So instead of apt install or apt-get install Python 3.8, you would just do brew install. So I love it. I love Brew. I love installing things using Brew. So for those of you who are Mac users on my channel, you will see Brew. You will use Brew as your package manager. So as I was saying, this is my homepage. If you're looking for articles, this is where you'll be able to find them. It looks like I did forget to link to the blog, but it will show up in Google. And you can go to the members area and you can subscribe and create an account. So for those of you who want to actually sign up for an account on my homepage and be part of the Alyssa Knight community, you can do that. So I notice, like if I go out there and Google some of the old articles that I've published and are syndicated online, those links will be dead. They don't always maintain them. They redesign the website and all of a sudden the links don't work. So if you're looking for a blog article and you're looking to try and figure out how to, where something is, it's most likely on my homepage. So you just log in and you can sign up with either an email. And all I ask is for your email address and then a password. I don't ask for any other personal information. It just gives you access. Now, the neat thing about this is that there are tool downloads. So for those of you who watched or may have seen the Blue BLE hacking series on my YouTube channel, where I'm actually remotely unlocking Bluetooth locks, like the August Smart Lock on front doors that people use on their houses. By the way, we don't have one for this very reason. But I have a series of videos on how to do that using Raspberry Pis. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely recommend you to go watch them. They're great. I think they're great videos. I may be, not impartial, but I think they're great. The tools that I used in hacking those and actually getting up and actually quickly setting up and configuring those Raspberry Pis, I've put those scripts available for download in the members area of my homepage. So all you have to do is just register and you can download those tools. Okay, so this is the commands that will run for Python. Let's go ahead and check on that download. It looks like Xcode is going to take a while. It looks like this is actually almost done. So we'll let that go. Let's see. All right, so for Linux, all we're going to do is we're just going to go in there and run setup.sh. It's just a setup script that will set up and install MobSF. Now, I want to say that MobSF is pretty good at keeping their project updated. I don't remember the last time it was updated, but I'm hoping that, for the newer versions of Mac OS, they have added in support for newer versions of Python. So let's see. I mean, we're going to run to it, right? Let's see what happens. All right, let me check back on everybody. All right. Oh, the bot is back. All right, how do we do this? Block user on YouTube. All right, they are blocked on YouTube. Man, I've never, this is like the first time I've run into bots on my live streams. This is crazy. Okay. Hey, RH, how you doing? Good to see you. Oscar, thanks for joining us. Let's see, any new posts? Arbiton, could you please share the link to that web app? Oh, which web app? Are you talking about MobSF? Let me go back to sharing my screen. Great. Okay, so yeah. So mobile security framework. It's just a GitHub project. So you're gonna git clone it, and that's basically what we did here. Is I cloned it. All right, it looks like it's been installed. So here it's gonna it's gonna yell at you if you try and do a git clone. Again, this is for those of you who just joined us. This is a brand new Mac Studio, so we're installing everything from scratch. All right, so git clone. Let's try that again. See if it yells at us. All right, it looks like it's successfully cloning it, which is great. Oh, pretty big project. All right. Definitely donate if you like the project and you want to help support them. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty well maintained. It looks like it was last updated 2 days ago. Let's see, revert add. Yeah, cool. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if they added support for the latest Python. What version of Python are we running? That's a good question. New window. Is it Python -v? Python. Oh, it's not even installed. That actually might be a good thing. So if we do a brew install Python 3.8, I kind of want to see if it supports 3.9 now. If any of you want to put in chat if you've installed MobSF on the latest version of Mac OS, let me know. And if it works, if it supports it, I guess we can just try it, right? Let's try it. Let's see. Let's Google it. MobSF support for Python 3.9. Looks like it was back on February 18th. Hmm. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Hmm. Well, we'll try it. Let's just see. We can always unlink it. So let's just try it. See what happens. We're gangsta here at Night Group. All right. Xcode is still installing. See what this is doing. Is this done? Huh. All right. Let's see. All right. We'll go back answering any questions. All right, people, don't be so quiet. Don't be so quiet. Oh, look, I forgot to share my screen again. You guys need to remind me to share my screen. I keep forgetting to do that. Sorry about that. Okay, let me see. I'm using Python 3.10.4. Blazing, what are you are you on Linux? What dish are you using? Are you on Mac OS? Let me know. It's running on Python 3.8 according to the documentation. Okay. So yeah, so we're probably gonna need to do 3.8. Let's not cause any problems. Let's just, I don't know. I kind of, a part of me, the self-destructive side of me kind of wants to just try it with the latest Python and see if it works. Okay. All right, fine. I'll install it with Python 3.8 just to make sure there's no issues. I just installed on Kali and it's fine. Cool. Hey, Oscar, when you installed it on Kali, what version of Python was Kali using? We might have a little bit of a lag here, so if, I get it if you guys need a little time to answer. Hey, starter kit. There really isn't here's the issue. And this is another reason why I told T earlier that I'm probably going to just continue my content on hacking APIs is because there's such a huge need for API hackers right now. There are very few of us, very few people really fully understand how to hack APIs. And so there aren't that many resources out there on it, which is another reason why I want to continue to create content on hacking APIs. But this is a great question, starter kit. So there's like so Corey Ball just published a book on hacking APIs. It's definitely go pick yourself up a copy of it on Amazon or your local bookstore. But I think it's literally called Hacking APIs. I'm in the process of writing a new book on hacking APIs, so that will be out soon. I'm trying to get that out in time for Hacker Summer Camp. So that's the plan at the moment. Yeah, I think there's a Udemy course on hacking APIs as well. I want to say that I saw one. I don't know how great it is. I haven't taken it, but that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing in my new whatchamacallit, and it really is part of this new series on Shadow Academy. So just an FYI. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I think I need to bring the lighting up in here. 1 sec. It's starting to get a little dark. All right. All right, this is like super slow. What's going on? All right. What is saying what? All right, so Aldo is saying let's jump. Let's jump to it being installed. All right, so this is live. No, There's no jumping around. So what the point of Shadowk is? But why don't we kind of talk through what's going to happen once it is installed? So once MobSF is fully installed, we're going to use. So I've got this, which is probably dead right now. Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's online. So I have this. Oh yeah, this is an iPad. What am I thinking? Okay, let's start again. um, so what I'll do is I have a Samsung phone that's got Android on it. A lot of you don't need to go to Best Buy and say Alyssa told me to buy a $1,000 Android phone, the latest Samsung to be able to hack Android. That's not what I'm saying. You can go to the store and buy the cheapest Android phone, the cheapest Android tablet, and use that. I think the Samsung that I bought, I think was like $300. So, but basically, you want an Android device to be able to hack with. So once MobSF is fully installed, we're going to go onto our Android device and we are going to install APK Extractor. And then after we install APK Extractor, that is literally installed from the Play Store. Will allow you to extract an APK file off of your Android device. Now, the neat thing about that is that once you extract it off of that and put it up on, like, say, Google Drive, I actually have a folder of APK files on Google Drive that I'll probably just use for this show. But once that APK file is extracted off the device, you can then take that APK file, download it to your hacker lab, your hacker workstation that you're installing MobSF on, and you're going to drag and drop that APK file up to MobSF. Okay, so once MobSF is fully installed, we're going to run it. It's going to be a web-based interface, and we're literally going to drag and drop these APK files into MobSF to reverse that back to the source code so we can go through the code and look for hard-coded API keys and tokens. For those of you who are new to API hacking and you're like, oh my God, Alyssa, what the heck is an API key? What the heck is an API token? So, all right. So there's a thing, this could be an entire show on its own. Maybe I should do an entire show on it, but there's something called OAuth 2 and there's something called tokens. So a token basically is like a unique identifier and password. It basically uniquely identifies you, or should uniquely identify you, depending on how it's used. And you can also implement what are called scopes. So scopes will basically say, okay, let's pick on Oscar for a minute. So let's say Oscar is authenticated with our API. We issue him or her, I'm assuming him, an API, let's say them. All right, we issue them an API token, and that is what is actually sent as part of the API request in the header, in the authorization header. So you're literally, and we're gonna walk through that in this show. So we're going to load up Postman in Shadow Academy, and I'm going to walk you through how to take that token and literally copy and paste it into your API request in Postman to be able to, just mess with, manipulate different fields in the API request using Postman. Again, once that's installed, once MobSF is installed, we're going to drag and drop the APK file into MobSF. We're going to reverse it back to the source code. We're going to drop to a terminal shell, and we're going to scour that source code for hard-coded API keys and tokens, which can then be used to go after third-party payment sites. I've seen hard-coded keys and tokens for third-party payment sites, P2P stuff. I've even seen some stuff for AWS. So it's incredibly stupid. I don't know why developers are still doing this without obfuscating it at the very least. But developers are doing it, and you will see that live on this show in some of the apps we take a look at. And a lot of the times it's not even just one API key or token, it's multiple. There was one app where I found, more than a dozen API keys and tokens in there for different, even third parties, not just their own APIs, but their third parties. Blazing says, I think the latest version of Python shouldn't impact on the performance of MobFS. You cut your hair, but I like it anyway. Hey Sal, how are you doing? It's really good to see you. Thanks for tuning in today. Alyssa, thank you for taking the time to do this live cast. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Look, I want to like point the pink elephant out in the room. Everyone, every live, and I said this, but there's some new people that have joined us. So I'm going to say this again. So Shadow Academy is doing everything live. I haven't pre-installed any apps to make sure they work. I haven't pre-installed any tools. It's to literally have all of you shadow me like you're standing here in my studio in our home while we're installing it. And we are going to run into problems. We're going to run into issues. We're going to run into things that need to be installed. And we're going to work through them together because as every one of you knows, when sometimes things just don't compile, sometimes pen tests aren't perfect, sometimes things just don't work the way we want. And so while it's really easy to do a tutorial video on how to install and run MobSF, and then I cut out all the parts that didn't work and then upload it, how does that teach you? How does that help you learn how to troubleshoot and learn how to get things running? I have mad respect for any live streamer who does stuff like this because you will run into issues. We've already run into some of it. We've got some stuff we need to install. Clearly is taking a while, but the good news is that once we get these bigger things like Xcode and developer tools installed, and it looks like even MobSF, which is taking a while for some reason, we will have a majority of those bigger software applications installed. So it's so we're at, let's see, what are we at? We're at 26%. I don't know why these objects are taking so long. I mean, all of you saw my speed test. What the hell is going on? Is it because I'm live streaming right now? Or are maybe GitHub servers are just really overloaded right now? I mean, should be a lot faster than what we're getting at right now. We're getting 81, 83, 85, 84 megabits per second. Upload is even better. That is why my live streams are awesome. 176 megs per second. Gotta love it. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. If any of you have any questions that I can answer while all this crap is loading, let me know. We might not be able to get everything installed before the cutoff time. If we do have to limit this one to downloading and installing, I think what I'll do is Shadow Academy will be more than once per week. So right now, today's Sunday. If we need to, we'll continue. I'll let these all finish downloading, and then I'll do another Shadow Academy on, let's say, Wednesday. So how about let me know what all of you think about this show schedule, but how about we do it like twice a week? So maybe, so Night Squared is on Sundays. So that would mean we would have to move Night Squared or move Shadow Academy. Maybe we do Shadow Academy on Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, maybe like at the end of the workday for all of you. So maybe, I don't know. How about we say, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then that way, all of you get 2 classes per week. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But I'm thinking like maybe Mondays and Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. Or maybe all of you want Wednesdays and Fridays. Maybe Wednesday and Friday would be better. Yeah, let me know in the comments on what all of you think. But yeah, unfortunately, that GitHub Git clone is taking forever for some reason. I don't know why. Cody says, I've used MobSF on Debian 11. It worked fine with the latest Python version for me. I kind of want to, okay, let's do it. Okay, you know what? Let's throw caution to the wind. And when we get to that point, we'll install MobSF with the latest version of Python. Let's go ahead and install Python. Let's get that ready. Okay, so see, brew install Python. Ooh. Oh, we need to install Brew. Oh, right. Okay, so let's do that. So installing Brew on Mac OS. You think I would? Okay, so let's address that for a minute. You think that I've installed Brew on Mac OS so many times that I've memorized the command by now, but all of you need to remember I am a lot older than I look. So yeah, I know this is hair color. I have a lot of gray hairs. My memory sucks. Like, okay, so for those of you who haven't Googled this, but there's something they're realizing that, hey, the brain is not meant to actually remember things, which is why there's all of these videos on YouTube called the second brain. Have all of you seen that? I don't know if any of you have seen that. Hold on. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. Okay. So like, if any of you haven't looked into this, there's something called second brain. And so this dude like just got famous over this like overnight. The guy's name is it Tiago? I think it's Tiago Forte. I want to say it's Tiago. He's the one who created this. Anyway, it's the idea that you're not supposed to, the brain isn't designed to store as much information and store as much as we're throwing at it in today's world, and that it really isn't designed for that. So you should always take notes. You should always have a second brain. And a lot of people use Notion. There's another one called Milanote that Becky and Chris are use. Notion. I love Notion. Notion is a great tool for something like that. But anyway, my point is no, I don't remember the commands to install for. Anyway, okay, installing Homebrew. Let's do this together. Let's do this. All right, so here we go. Brew install. There you go. It's a bash. All right, so yeah, see, that's what I love about Mac OS. Bin bash on Mac OS. I absolutely love it. All right, so we're gonna just paste that. So let's update our installation notes. So we want to install Brew, and that is the bin bash line. Checking for sudo access. For those of you who just don't know, who aren't in the, never run and install things, especially when you're learning how to do something for the first time and you're just Googling. Just be really careful what you copy and paste, and never do it as root. Always try and install things at the lowest user level privileges possible. So I'm logged in as a listenite, and it's forcing me to sudo, which is important. So yeah, never install things as root. And of course, this is going to be another long install. This sucks. Why is the speed so slow? I don't know. One of you there, we've got a lot of people watching today. By the way, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We have a lot of people watching right now. One of you, like, is it just me? Because I know all of you saw my speed test just now. Like, there's no reason these downloads from GitHub should be so slow. Like, is it just me? Or are GitHub's, when you're cloning something from GitHub, does it typically take you a long time? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Is it just an Elisonite thing, or is it just an everybody thing? Just GitHub's servers for cloning are super slow, and they're throttled maybe on the speed. Oh my God, another bot. What is happening? So I'm new, as many of you know, again, we just recently got monetized. I think it was 2 days ago. So like, I've never seen bots on my YouTube channel before on the live streams. Is this like, do bots like only go after monetized channels? Is it because I'm monetized now? Now we're seeing these bots? Because this sucks. Let me try and ban this bot again. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Sometimes I'm good to go. Other times it's 1998 and I can hear the 28K modem firing off. Yeah, I would imagine that GitHub servers are pegged so frequently. I wouldn't be surprised if it is metered, but that's ridiculous. I'm what, like 80 and 90 megs per second, and I mean, look at how slow this is. This is ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, I agree with you, Cody. It does seem like sometimes, I guess I'll show some of these comments. I guess it depends. Like I've had times where I'll clone something from GitHub and it's like it's just boom, it's done, it's downloaded. I mean, if you think about it, I can't imagine that MobSF is actually very big. Um, so yeah, I can't believe it's taking long it is. But yeah, there are times where you clone something from GitHub and it's like it's just instantaneous, but maybe a lot of people are hitting it right now. Barton says Wednesday and Friday would be great for us land down under too. I've been doing and done API security stuff as a pen tester and bounty hunter. There's always stuff to learn from experts as yourself. Oh, thank you so much, Everton. I appreciate that. So yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll try Wednesdays and Fridays first. So I know today's Sunday, but we'll go ahead and do the next show on Wednesday, and then we'll do the next show on Friday. So we'll do it twice a week. So put it in your calendar, everyone, as a reminder. Shadow Academy will be Wednesdays and Fridays, and what I'll do is I'll start it at what do you maybe 5 p.m. I'll do it at 5 p.m. Pacific, and then that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you who are, I know I have people coming in from Korea, from Japan. I've got some people in the chat and who are watching right now. Who are coming in from London. So I know some of you are 8 to 12 to 15 hours ahead. I'm so sorry about that. It's really tough to get everyone in the most, where I can accommodate everyone's time zone. Just, I mean, the other thing is, even though it's live streamed, it is recorded. So even if you can't stay, if it's really late on your side and you don't want to stay up, you can watch it, when you're awake, because everything I've configured everything to immediately publish to YouTube once the live stream is done. So as soon as the show is done, it will be available for you to watch afterwards. Wow, we've got someone from Djibouti. Wow, thank you for joining us, M2J81. Nice. Starter kit, bot lives matter too. I agree. So let's talk. Okay, so it looks like we've got some API hackers in the chat, which is super cool. Put your favorite API hacking tool into chat. Let me know. I'll also, since you guys can't see the chat. Oh, you know what? I'll just add the chat overlay while we're but yeah, let us know your favorite hacking tool. So one thing I will tell you that we're going to do an episode on is Kite Runner. Yeah, baby, that's coming. So for those of you who are interested in fuzzing APIs, we are going to be doing an episode on Kite Runner. Yeah, super cool. So for those of you who don't know what fuzzing means, basically what a fuzzer will do is it'll basically manipulate different fields and try different things. It will also look for files in directories that if you think about it, an API isn't like a website that you can browse the directory structure and look for files through your web browser. An API works differently. So an API fuzzing tool really helps. Yes, Aberton, thank you. We are also going to be doing an episode on Postman, and we are also going to be doing an episode on Burp Suite. So this is probably going to be the most fun, the most exciting, the coolest series we've ever done on KnightTV. So I'm super excited about it. We will be talking about Metasploit as well. Burp and play normal request and Postman, then hack on Burp. Okay, look, I thank you for bringing this up, Barden. So, okay, and I apologize to any of you if I totally massacre your name. I'll do the best I can. So Barden brings up a good point. So when I first started hacking APIs, my tool test looked like this. I was using uh, SSL Midem, which is basically a woman in the middle, man in the middle attack tool that I like to use. So what it will do is it will listen on an interface on, let's say, port 8001, and you point your iPhone or your Android at your machine that's running SSL Midem or Midem proxy. I apologize, Midem proxy. And so what it will do is it will send a certificate in both directions, and your mobile app will think it's communicating with the API server, and the API server will think it's communicating with the API with the mobile app. And so basically it allows you to decrypt SSL TLS traffic and allow you to actually look at it. And then so what I would do is I would run Midem proxy, and I would copy and paste that into Postman, and I would manipulate the fields in the API request, and then that would send that along to its destination to the API endpoint. But I have gotten lazier since then, and now I just use Burp Suite. So Burp Suite has this great tool. There's a great tool, or I'd say a module. What should we call it, everybody? Should we call it modules? So like Burp Suite is this perfect Swiss Army knife of modules where you have these different tabs and these different things you can use. And hey, Miguel, thanks for joining us. With Burp Suite, there's a proxy tab that you can use. And basically this replaces Midem proxy, and it will allow you to do a WIDM Midem attack in the same fashion, and it'll intercept the packets. And then you can then right click on the packet in proxy and send it to repeater. And what repeater in Burp Suite is it allows it basically copy and paste the entire API request and it'll into the repeater tab, and you can manipulate the fields from there. So let's say, for example, you found an API endpoint that exposes its object IDs. An example of an object ID is like /patient/1001, and you want to manipulate that field and change it to /patient/1 or /patient/2. You can then do that, and then repeater will send it down to its destination, and then you'll actually see the response. So Burp Suite is super cool and super powerful. So for those of you who have not used it, Funky Monk, very cool name, by the way. Thanks for joining us, Funky Monk. I pay for the professional version of Burp Suite. Here's the thing. There really isn't a huge difference between the community edition and the pro edition. The only real difference with the pro edition is you get these like scanners that allow you to scan an endpoint. I don't really use that, so there's no real economic reason or any real reason at all for me to be paying for the professional version. I do it because I want to support Portswigger. I'm a huge fan of Portswigger. I'm a huge fan of Burp Suite, and we can afford to buy Burp Suite. It's not that expensive, at least for some people. But yeah, what is it? Everyone, is it a couple $100, I think? So yeah, I pay for the pro version. There's really no reason to, but for those of you who can't afford it, the community edition is fine. The community edition is fine. You're just gonna be lacking things like the scanning tools and automated stuff like that. But you can still use repeater. You can still use proxy. Okay, there is another question that came in that I get a lot, which is, Alyssa, how do you hack a web API? This is a freaking great question. It's an awesome question. And we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it in, maybe we'll cover it on Wednesday. Yeah, maybe we'll cover it either on Wednesday or Friday. Maybe Wednesday we'll cover the mobile APIs, and then Friday we'll cover the web APIs. But there is a super cool button in Burp Suite. Now that we're talking about Burp Suite, there's a super cool button in Burp Suite where you can push it and it will load up Chromium. Okay, wait, this is super cool. Okay, so yes, for those of you who want to say, but Alyssa, you can easily set your proxy. You can download and install Chromium yourself and set your proxy to localhost and do it and use. Yeah, but I'm lazy. Remember, I want to have everything done for me. So, what I love about this in Burp Suite is there's a, and now I don't know, Funky Monk, keep me honest here. I don't know. Maybe, maybe this button isn't available in the community edition. I don't know. Someone let me know if you have the community edition of Burp Suite. Go check it. Check the proxy tab. See if there's a little button there. But should be a button there that says Open Chromium or Open Browser, and it is a browser that ships with Burp Suite and automatically sends all of its packets into Burp Suite. I freaking love it. Look. I'm 43 years old. You know, I'm not a spring onion anymore. If I can do something where it's just click a button and it does it for me, awesome, great. Yeah, I'm all for that. Hey Trey, hey Alyssa, thank you so much for running the Shadow Academy. It would be great to have a lab that runs us through these techniques. I would definitely pay to join. I can help you set it up. Ooh, Trey, that's a great idea. So I have been actually wanting to get some folks together to create either scripts or, purposely vulnerable stuff for this. Trey, let's definitely do that. I'm going to DM you. I'll reach out to you on like LinkedIn. I'll find you on LinkedIn and reach out to you. Otherwise, connect with me and DM me on LinkedIn. But yeah, that would be cool. For those of you who are not aware, a really good friend of mine just launched a new purposely vulnerable API called VAPI, and he actually spoke at our first API security conference called API Secure. So for those of you who don't know, Mel and I run a family of companies. One of them is Night Events. And we just held our first API security conference this year. It was called API Secure. I know I need to get the website up. I've been lagging on that. I've been busy with the filmmaking, but the website is coming with all of the sessions were recorded and you'll be able to watch the sessions on the website. But yeah, I do want to let all of you know, I am going to be making this first episode. Okay, we'll make the first week free, but I am moving this to the community now that my YouTube channel is monetized. I'm going to be making Shadow Academy something that you need to pay for access to. I'm not going to make it break the bank. It's not going to be thousands of dollars. I think Mel and I were talking about making it like $5 a month or something like that. It's going to be affordable. Basically, you'll be able to. It'll cost more to buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks every month. As much coffee as you buy at Starbucks every month, it'll be cheaper than that. So I don't know what we'll do, but definitely want to probably tie this to some kind of community. Now, here's the cool thing. Are all of you ready for this? shadowacademy.com was free. It was available. No one registered it. It was a premium domain and I bought it. I spent like way more money than I should have spent for it. But yeah, we definitely need to probably start charging for access to Shadow Academy. And I'm actually, Trey, now that you bring this up, I'm actually thinking we're actually going to start working on a mobile app. So you'll be able to access Shadow Academy on your phone as a mobile app. And Trey, I would love to talk to you about creating some, some cool tools around this and for people to download. Maybe we'll set up and configure VAPI and some other things. But maybe like this first week, or maybe this intro course will be free. And then what we'll do is we'll tie it to the community membership within YouTube. And then everyone will need to sign up in order to access it. But I think this is so important. It's so timely, just because there really is a lack of API hacking API content out there. Okay, so it looks like we're at 76%, and we're about 10 minutes over. It looks like this is probably. Oh, and this is at 80%. So I'm going to let this finish. We'll end this episode. I apologize to everyone for going over. Thanks, Starter Kit. Thanks for joining us. So we'll go ahead and end this episode. I'm going to let these finish downloading, and we'll pick up where we left off in the next episode. And then what I'll do is I will post the commands from today up there as an article into the community section of our YouTube channel. Oscar, I'm 39, gather around young hackers. My end is nigh. By the way, I just installed Mob SF just fine in OSX Monoran, the latest Python, and it's running just fine. I'm ready to be a member right now. Laughing out loud. Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate all of your support. So please definitely subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell icon if you haven't yet. And then we will, looks like we've got widespread support right now for everyone. Looks like everyone's okay with paying for access to this. Like I said, I'm going to make Shadow Academy cheap. It's going to be cheap. It's not about getting rich off this. I just want to be able to try and compensate ourselves for the money and time we're investing into this. But we are going to have a lot of fun. I promise all of you. Mwah, I love you. Thank you for joining us today. I love all of you. It's because of you that our YouTube channel is finally monetized. And I really appreciate all of you joining us today. So this video will be available on my YouTube channel. I will paste the commands into the comments, or I'm sorry, into the description of the video. And thank you so much for everyone joining us today. Funky Monk, Oscar, Starter Kit, Brina, Sal. Thank you everyone for joining us. It looks like we had some people from even Africa, UK. Thank you so much for joining. Tra, thanks for joining us. I love all of you. I will see all of you very soon. Oh, by the way, don't forget, are you still here? Did you you haven't disconnected yet, right? Because I've got something huge to say. Our new film Ransom is premiering at AMC movie theaters in Las Vegas on August 8th. We are throwing a huge premiere party. For those of you who will be at Black Hat briefings this year, get a ticket. There's only 100 tickets available. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see the posts on it. You can go grab yourself a ticket if you're going to be in Las Vegas on August 8th for Black Hat. Come to the premiere. You're going to be able to meet the actors. We're going to be signing movie posters. I think they're Conceal is printing like 200 posters. So come get your posters signed. Come meet me. Come meet the Knight Studios team. Come meet the actors. We're going to be having a cocktail party. There's going to be a lot of super cool people there. It's again August 8th at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at conceal.io. Again, that's www.conceal.io. If you're going to be in Las Vegas, get yourselves a ticket. There's only 100 tickets. We've already, and the tickets are free, by the way. So you don't have to pay. We're covering the cost of it. So come out, join us, have a drink with me. It's going to be a really fun night. It's going to be the launch of our new franchise called Ransom. Episode 1 is going to be premiering at AMC movie theaters on August 8th in Las Vegas. We will see you there. I love all of you. Take care of yourselves and each other.